Azriel Clary has now created a tell-all YouTube series called My Last 5 Years, exposing her experience with R. Kelly. The two met and started living together when she was just 17 and he was 48. But she ended their relationship last year. She's 22 years old now, and she feels this is an important part of her healing process, and she hopes to be done with this forever after she do this tell-all series.
Everything that has happened in those 5 years, I will talk about everybody, to manipulation, to our everyday routine, to our lives, to our houses, to the studio, to everything. I will tell you guys everything. Hopefully, I just feel like this man is in his 50s, okay? And I am not the first person that this man has done this to, okay? This is something that has been happening since the 90s. This is something that has been happening since way before Aaliyah. Aaliyah was not his first victim. She was not the first minor that he was with. And I feel like someone who had millions and millions and millions of dollars, if he really knew, if he really, really wanted to change, he would have spent millions and millions and millions of dollars on therapists and on getting help and on, psychologists and all kinds of stuff like that. But instead, he spent his money on getting more girlfriends and supporting more girlfriends and wooing more women.
As soon as the blogs reported on this, people were down in the comments with, of course, mean, negative things to say, from who cares to she can shut up because she knew who he was before getting with him. And honestly, who didn't know who R. Kelly was? I mean, we heard time and time again that R. Kelly is into young girls, but we also have to remember that Azriel was very young when R. Kelly was going to trial and stuff back in like the early 2000s. I don't even think, she was really young. Also, we have to keep in mind that her parents were probably the ones that ignored those allegations made towards R. Kelly. They probably were still bumping his music, probably was one of the ones saying that they just want to charge him because he's a black guy. So if you have parents that obviously didn't care about R. Kelly's past because most likely they didn't believe it, then what do you think Azriel is going to do? Especially with being the fact that she was probably too young to even, take in what was happening to R. Kelly during that time because she was so young. When she first got with R. Kelly, when she first got up with R. Kelly, with the help of her parents, she was under the impression that it was about music. Just imagine being a young girl with a dream to make it, and you get up with this megastar that claim they paved the way for Aaliyah. You would go for it too, especially if your parents don't have a problem with it. Of course, things went left with R. Kelly, and we don't even have to go into detail about what happened because we already we know the gist of it, even though obviously we don't know all of it, which is why she's coming out with a tell-all. But what gets me is everyone is bashing her as if they would have had the mind of an adult at 17 years old. Like they would have made the decision to cut ties with R. Kelly. But everyone that's judging her has made poor decisions before when it comes to relationships, when it comes to how to handle certain situations, especially at 17 years old. If you're dealing with a man that is super jealous and takes away your human rights by telling you when to talk to your parents, when to go to the bathroom, when to eat, what to wear, and etc., and you're only 17, and this is like your first real relationship, you mean to tell me that no one on the internet would get Stockholm Syndrome? Like, really? Like, it just blows my mind how everyone on the internet, especially in the black community, I just have to say it, I just gotta keep it true, especially in the black community, we be so quick to just sweep things under the rug, especially like when it comes to stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? Because the majority of us have dealt with it, and the majority of us have not said anything about it. Some of us have, some of us haven't. It just gets swept under the rug by our families or whatever. Like, we be so hard on each other. You know, we really do. We be so hard on each other. Like, when we hear that one of our own got victimized by one of our own, we just sweep it under the rug, no matter what it is. No matter if it's stuff like this, no matter if it's like have something to do with violence. Like, when we hear that one of our own have done something, you know, messed up to one of our own, we just sweep it up under the rug. Like, la 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 la, that didn't happen. Like, yes, it did. It did happen. You know? Now, I have to admit that recently, Azriel's choice and actions hasn't made it easy for her. Like her rapping about R. Kelly and a lot of other stuff. But we have to realize that this girl, for 5 years, from 17 to 22 years old, was strictly with R. Kelly. She's not used to the media. She never had to deal with it. And she never gotten the counseling to learn what to say and what not to say when you're in the public eye. You know, a lot of people that's in the public eye, they go through counseling, or they have like a mentor. They have somebody to teach them, you know, how to act, what to say or whatever. She goes from being with R. Kelly 24/7, not being able to do this, do that, do this, do that without his permission, to him being gone, and now she's just out in the world and everybody's judging her and stuff, you know? So of course the things she is going to do may be a bit immature. Mentally, to me, she's still 17 years old. No disrespect to her or anything, because I know she's 22, but it's true. You know, trauma, and it doesn't even matter what kind of trauma, can make your growth stagnant. I mean, if I, you know, I can relate to that because of personal experience of my own. I remember losing a parent at 19, and like for like 5 years, or it may have even been more than 5 years. You know, after losing that parent, you would have thought I was still 19, because I could not think straight. You know, I couldn't think straight. So I can't imagine going through what Azriel has been through, and then having it be out in the open, and then on top of that, have so many people that think they're so righteous passing judgment upon you. Honestly, I'm here for this tell-all that she's doing. People heal in different ways, and I'm not judging the choice she made to tell her experience. I just hope she heals after this. Of course, it'll take time to heal. Anybody that has done any kind of healing or shadow work understands how hard it can be. Like, it could take years to fully recover from something that has happened, you know. But I really do hope eventually she does heal from this. Maybe go ghost for a while, work on herself for like 2 years, and come back stronger and in her power. All I know is, if you yourself have never took the time to heal from anything, running from any kind of shadow work, can't even stay sober because you don't want to deal with whatever is hurting you, then you have no room to talk about this girl and her choice in healing. Period. I don't care what choices she made. She may have, you know, kind of damaged her, you know, her reputation of being a victim, just of how out she's been, you know, and the things that she said and stuff. But that doesn't take from the simple fact that, yes, she is a victim. You know what I'm saying? She is a victim. She is hurting, and she does have to heal. So that's all I have to say about this situation. I will be looking out for that tell-all, and I will be sending healing energy her way and praying for her. I pray that after she does this tell-all, I pray that eventually she becomes the woman that she's meant to be, and she can put all of this behind her, you know, and I pray that, you know, people just start, I guess, being more empathetic. You have a lot of people that sit online don't have an empathetic bone in their body. passing judgments. You know, you have people that's sitting in quarantine going crazy because they're by themselves. They have no other choice but to think. You know, like being in quarantine and being in the house will really force you to do that self-healing that you need to do. Will really force you to work on some things, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people can't handle that, you know? So what they do, they get online. I'm not saying all of them, but most people that get online to sit there and throw hate and negative energy somebody's way, 9 times out of 10 is not at a good point in their life. Because I promise you, anybody that is happy within their life don't have time to be sitting on the internet throwing hate anybody's way. And anybody that has done any kind of healing is not gonna knock anybody's choice of self-healing. You get what I'm saying? Period. So I just hope that she can be able to heal from this, and I just hope that within our community we can learn to be more empathetic and stop sweeping everything under the rug and stop like making it seem like everything is a joke, because it's not. All right, y'all. Peace. Okay, one more thing before I go. I forgot that I wanted to say something about this, but the part of the video where Azriel was like R. Kelly, his first time messing up with a minor was not with Aaliyah. I honestly believe that's 100% true. You know what I'm saying? I doubt that the first time he's messed with a minor was with Aaliyah. But the reason why I wanted to bring this up or to comment on that is because when, you know, people hear what's happened to these other women when it comes to, you know, they can't look at other men, can't no men talk to them, they have to wear these type of clothes, or they can't talk to their family, or this, that, and the third, you know, they want to listen to that. But then when it comes to R. Kelly and Aaliyah, they want to like make it seem like it's this some sort of love story, you know. But I bet you Aaliyah been through the majority of the stuff that these women have been through, but she was not allowed to say anything because she signed a non-disclosure agreement before her and her parents took a settlement. You feel me? So she could never speak on it. She could never talk about it by law, even if she wanted to. And then on top of that, I'm not saying too much about her family, but I'm saying her team, her uncle and her team, they were so money hungry. Instead of Aaliyah having a chance to heal, even though I think like after the R. Kelly situation, she did kind of go ghost for like a few years or whatever, and she came back with One in a Million. But like I said, she was never able to really heal from it. She had to, you know, work. And you can see like from the videos like of the last few months of her life, she just seemed like agitated. She seemed restless. She just didn't seem like herself. She just seemed fully stressed out, you know. And all I'm saying is I wish Aaliyah would have had the chance to, you know, tell what happened to her so she can fully heal. You get what I'm saying? Instead of having to keep her mouth shut and keep going with the show for the sake of her legacy. Sometimes getting something off your chest does do good. You know, especially like if something is like really hurting you, really bugging you or whatever like that, you need to get it out because it could drive you crazy. So that's another reason why I'm saying that I'm here for Azriel's tell-all, because Aaliyah didn't have that option. You know, she didn't have that option of being able to tell what happened to her or whatever. She always had to like sweep it under the rug, act like it didn't happen. And Aaliyah went through a whole lot of stuff with R. Kelly. A lot of stuff with R. Kelly. It wasn't no love story like how people are painting it. She went through some stuff with him. And it might not have been to the extent of she can't talk to her parents because her uncle was over top of, you know, R. Kelly. Barry was R. Kelly's manager. So no, he can't tell Aaliyah she can't talk to her family. But he can put hands on her though, you know. It's a lot of stuff that ain't fully out yet, but slowly but surely it's coming out. And like I said, people need to heal. People need to heal. So yeah, I just wanted to comment on that. Like I said, I wish Aaliyah would have had that chance to sit there and tell what happened to her so she could fully heal. And I'm glad that Azriel has the chance to say what happened to her so she can fully heal. And honestly, I hope eventually Joycelyn follows suit. Even though I feel like it's going to take some time with her, but I hope eventually she follows suit. But yeah, y'all, that's all I have to say. I hope y'all have a good day. Peace.